Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Hinnerk, who does our pre-training work with all our horses for dynamic syndications. The Northern Meteor Valencia Colt came across to Hinnerk after he'd been finished being broken in with Shane Rose. From the time Shane Rose put a saddle on his back, he said we had something special. We got the right vibe about this horse. When the horse arrived to Hinnerk at Wild Oaks, the first thing Hinnerk did was call me and he says, "Mate, I don't know what you've got here, but it's a superstar." Hinnerk, I'd like to introduce you to my clients and I'd like you to talk about our Northern Meteor Valencia Colt.
Hello, Dean. How are you today? Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, buddy. What can you tell my owners about the Northern Meteor Valencia Colt?
Well, I would tell them exactly what I told you when I rang you that day. I mean, the Northern Meteor Colt, if I could, I probably would have tried to get a share in the horse myself. It's just a beautiful horse. I was impressed about him from day one. It's just when he arrived here. It's just a lovely type, a nice sprinter type, short, compact, but still free moving at the same time. He got a lovely temperament, which all the Northern Meteor fortunately had that we had out here. They were just lovely natured. I really like them as a horse in particular. Plus, at the same time, he's a very smart horse. Whatever task we asked him to do, he just handled it easy. He was smart the way he did it. He never overworked himself. He pulled up very well. He recovered really quick, which is very unusual for such a young horse. Just being in the first prep, he just handled it like a horse that's been here, done that race before. It's just unbelievable how well he done.
I remember at the time you picked up the phone and you said it's almost like this horse is a reincarnated superstar because it's like he had been here before. He just did everything so effortlessly and he'd been such a natural at it, but it was the way he covered the ground. Some horses hit the ground like Clydesdales and others just float like they're running along on a cloud. And he is just the most natural, sweet-moving individual we've had. But it doesn't surprise me because I've had a lot of success with this family, and in particular I won the Golden Slipper with Polar Success, and the mother of this colt, Valencia, is a half-sister to the mother of Polar Success, and it's a real outwardly up-and-going family, but traditionally it's a bit of a small family. But this colt, he's got plenty of size and strength, and that's what's so exciting about him.
Yeah, look, he just got that lovely back end. He just got so much power coming from behind. I mean, that's what you look for when you want a sprinting type of horse and probably go over 1200. And he goes out there on the track and he's just on full speed from the word go. He just works, he's quick, he's got power from behind. We've got a lovely track out here, as you know, that goes quite up a steep hill. And most of the horses, they really struggle. And he just did it from the day one. He just hit that hill and that is when he really started showing potential and started working and putting into it. And yeah, the riders always came back and said this horse is just terrific, the fear that it gives them and how easy he does it.
It doesn't surprise us. He's bred on probably one of the best crosses in the Australian stud book. It's by an Encosta de Lago sire line over a Danzig Lyre sign, and that cross has produced 14 stakes winners so far, and it's a ripper of a cross. And this horse breezed up in 1063. We are convinced that this is the type of horse that might actually be a slipper contender in the autumn. And Chris Waller just couldn't give us a big enough rap about him. He just was absolutely amazed how grown he was and how effortlessly he trod. He went up in his heat with a horse another one by Encosta de Lago, out of a mare called Mrs. Squillionaire, and they were one of the fastest heats of the day. And Mrs. Squillionaire has produced a champion sprinter in Asia called Green Birdie, and the raps were huge on that horse, and these two just breezed up. And our horse, even though the other one just had him shaded on the line, ours was doing it significantly easier, and he's run up in 1063. Well, mate, that's more than a length faster than the average, and he's done it on his ear. And it's got a lot to do with the way, the foundation work you've given him to start with, for which we thank you. But most importantly, we're delighted with the tip you gave us to hang on to him. We've obeyed instruction, buddy.
Yeah, no, well, look, as I said, I mean,
That's fantastic. Well, for my clients out there listening to this interview, you've heard it from the man himself. This is the man that gives them their start in life. This is the man who puts them on their way to championship status. And he's telling you, as we've been saying to you, we just can't get a better type for you. So, Hinnerk, thank you very much, mate, for what you've done. And I'm sure you'll be chafing at the bit to get him back into your stables there, so you can get him on the way to Chris's yards. And then when we're lining up in the Golden Slipper or something very clever in the autumn or in the spring 3-year-old, make sure you're there with us to get your photo taken in the winner's circle.
I certainly will.
Okay, buddy.
My pleasure. Thanks. And yeah, I look forward to getting back to the farm and get back into work.
Lovely. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just been listening to Hinnerk from Wild Oaks Farm, our pre-trainer of all our horses. Thanks, Hinnerk.